Did you know that one of the biggest debates in public health right now is not just about vaccines, but about who gets to define the rules for them? In a recent push that alarmed many doctors, Trump called for spacing out childhood shots and changing vaccine guidance in ways that directly challenge recommendations from major medical groups. The argument has touched everything from the MMR vaccine to hepatitis B, and it has reopened a fight that reaches far beyond one schedule on a chart. To understand why this matters, you have to look at the watchdog role being played by physicians, scientists, and public health experts who say vaccine policy should be guided by evidence, not politics. For decades, childhood immunization schedules have been built around a simple goal: protect children as early and efficiently as possible, using combinations and timing that have been studied for safety and effectiveness. That is why proposals to separate MMR shots, delay hepatitis B doses, and rethink recommendations for COVID-19 and flu have triggered such a sharp reaction. Medical organizations say these changes do not reflect the science, and they warn that even small shifts in guidance can cause real harm. The issue became even more urgent because of how the message landed with the public. Vaccine schedules are already complicated, and parents often rely on clear, consistent advice from pediatricians. When political leaders suggest changing long-standing recommendations, it can create doubt where there was once confidence. In this case, the concern is not only about one vaccine or one disease, but about whether the public starts to believe that all vaccine guidance is negotiable. That is a dangerous idea in a year when measles has been making a worrying comeback in communities where vaccination rates have fallen. And that is where the story gets bigger than one policy dispute. Measles is one of the most contagious diseases known, and it spreads fast when protection slips. Public health officials have been warning that even brief confusion about MMR recommendations can fuel hesitation, delay vaccination, and leave more children vulnerable. Hepatitis B guidance is also a sensitive issue because the vaccine is designed to protect newborns from a virus that can cause lifelong infection and serious liver disease. Changing the timing of that protection, experts say, would not simply be a bureaucratic adjustment. It would be a decision with consequences measured in outbreaks, hospital visits, and long-term complications. The administration's framing has tried to present these changes as common sense, as if separating shots or revisiting guidance is a cautious step meant to restore trust. Supporters argue that parents should have more flexibility and that federal recommendations should be re-examined periodically. But the medical community has pushed back hard, saying that vaccine schedules are not built on guesswork or ideology. They are based on years of research, millions of doses, real-world monitoring, and repeated review by experts in pediatrics, infectious disease, epidemiology, and public health. Their message is blunt. The current guidance works, and changing it without evidence risks weakening one of the most successful prevention systems ever created. That is especially true for COVID-19 and flu recommendations, which have become part of a broader debate over how the country handles respiratory viruses. Doctors say updated guidance matters because these viruses still send thousands of people to hospitals each year, especially older adults, young children, pregnant people, and those with underlying conditions. If policy changes make these vaccines seem optional in a more casual or political way, more people may skip them, and more preventable illness may follow. That would not just affect individual families. It would affect school attendance, hospital capacity, and the wider public health system that depends on high vaccination coverage to keep outbreaks from spiraling. There is also a deeper question here about scientific consensus. In medicine, consensus does not mean every expert agrees on every detail forever. It means the evidence has been reviewed broadly, repeatedly, and rigorously enough that a clear standard emerges. That is why so many medical groups have spoken with one voice against politically driven changes to vaccine guidance. They are not pretending that science never evolves. They are saying that any change should come from data, transparent review, and independent expertise, not from pressure to fit a political narrative. Once that line is crossed, trust becomes much harder to rebuild, and trust is the heart of the problem. Vaccine confidence depends on the public believing that recommendations are made honestly and consistently. When political leaders contradict doctors, parents may start to wonder whom to believe. When that happens, even routine childhood immunizations can become part of a culture war. The danger is not only misinformation, but exhaustion. Families may tune out the whole system if they feel it has become too noisy, too partisan, or too unstable to follow. What happens next will matter. Watch for whether federal guidance changes in ways that diverge from pediatric and infectious disease standards. Watch for how state health departments respond, because some may keep following existing medical guidance even if national messaging shifts. Watch for whether clinics and schools face more questions from parents trying to sort policy from politics. And watch the response from major medical organizations, which are likely to keep stressing that the evidence has not changed just because the politics have. In the end, this is not just a debate about scheduling shots or revising a recommendation page. It is a test of whether public health can stay rooted in science when politics tries to pull it elsewhere. If trust in vaccines erodes, the effects will not be abstract. They will show up in falling coverage, rising anxiety, and diseases we already know how to prevent. And if the country ignores that warning, the next outbreak may remind everyone too late why the experts were pushing back in the first place.